Welcome back to the lab with Leo. Duncan Eyre is here. He is the manager of Internet Communications and Media Monitoring at MARPAC JTFDND.
Correct.
I got it right. That stands for the Maritime Forces Pacific.
Yes.
For the Canadian Navy, right?
Correct.
And Joint Task Force Pacific Department of National Defense.
Yes.
All that means you are a civilian employee of the Navy, and you keep track of all the media feeds so that they can keep on top of what's happening.
Exactly.
That's cool. And you use it. If you didn't see the show, I hope you'll go back and look at it. We talked about some of the hardware that you created, including a thing you call the Medusa, a standard PC that can watch 5 different TV channels and record 5 different TV channels simultaneously.
Exactly.
But what we didn't get into is what do you do with all that stuff once you've got it?
Sure thing.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, what we do is we monitor everything that's happening as much as we can.
That's a lot of content.
A lot of content, and only edit out the stuff that we would be interested in. Normally, death and disasters is the big thing.
Sorry to say.
It's a sad thing, but yes, that's what we're looking for.
Well, you're looking for emergencies that the military may be required to help out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of time the news people have more information than we currently have.
Right.
So we're able to bring that in and add it to our situational awareness and allow the decision makers in the military to be better informed.
Sure. Why not use it? They've got people, crews everywhere. Why not use their eyes and ears?
Much as we learned from Hurricane Katrina and the Super Bowl.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yes. So I noticed you've got a news reader up.
Yes.
You actually have RSS feeds of this content?
Quite a few, about
That's
150.
Cool.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So that the Admiral can subscribe to a feed, in effect?
Not really. We do that.
You give him a nice little package.
Exactly.
Not that the Admiral couldn't if he wanted to.
He's a very busy man.
But he's got a lot to do. So you set it up for him.
Right.
But these feeds are used internally to keep an eye on these different things. 150 feeds?
Exactly.
Now, it's not something I could subscribe to.
Sure is.
It is?
This is public.
Oh, that's cool. Public. Tell us more about it.
So basically, we're using SharpReader, and instead of surfing to about 150 different websites to find out what was new, we just got this and subscribed to all these RSS feeds, and now it just downloads every time we want to.
So you don't just watch TV. You're also watching what's going on.
We have numerous things we have to watch.
Will you make your OPML available of this RSS feed? Because that way everybody could take a look at what feeds that you're looking at. We would love to get that.
Sure thing.
All right, we'll put it on our website. It's just a little file, and any newsreader can import it and then see what news. So you have 150 feeds you're monitoring actively.
Yes.
Wow.
So today, when we loaded this up, 2,547 pieces of information came in.
Can you give me an idea of the kinds of things you're monitoring?
Well, if we look at the website, we see the keywords that I'm looking for. BC floods is right now a very important aspect to our operation.
We do it by keyword.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're actually subscribed to Google News, and with the reader, we're just able to put in a keyword that we're looking for.
The web has really become a great resource for you, hasn't it?
Yeah. And improved our productivity because we'd have to surf to all these different websites to find this information.
So you're subscribing to RSS feeds and using sophisticated tools like Google News, which is an aggregator of other news sources to find the stuff that you want.
Exactly.
That's really neat.
Plus, of course, we're subscribed to mainstream items such as the CBC, CTV, CNN, and a whole bunch of U.S. government departments because, of course, we're interested in what our neighbors to the south are doing, as well as anything that could come up that be of interest. So the frigates is a keyword that we use, which is one of our ships, HMCS, Her Majesty's Canadian Ship. All those keywords that may pop up in the news and websites, we're able to, with this reader, pull it off quickly.
In a way, this is a great example of, for people who aren't sure how they could use RSS, the real value of RSS. It's a way of getting data from a lot of different websites and skimming through it very quickly and very efficiently.
Very quickly.
Yeah. And so, do you spend a lot of time looking at these feeds?
Normally about 45 minutes a day.
Okay.
And normally it's about 1,600 that I get in the morning.
And that's really all it takes?
Yes.
You just quickly scan through it. That's cool. What else do you do?
There's another very interesting website out of Hungary that we use. It actually communicates with a whole bunch of different emergency companies around the world and pulls off information, maps it as far as what's happening in the world.
These are disasters.
Disasters. All the bad news that's out there.
And this is in Hungary.
This is Hungary.
Now, it's very important, and I think this is true even for people, end users who are watching this show. You don't trust any one source. You're looking at a variety of sources and combining all this information to try to get a best assessment of what's actually happening. Exactly. But no one source is guaranteed to be accurate.
Never.
Yeah.
I am just one source to the Admiral. He also has other sources that he uses.
Right. So that's really important. So when you use the web, and I tell my kids this, when they're using the web, for instance, Wikipedia, that's not truth written in stone, that's a starting point. And you want to get other sources to confirm the same information. And clearly that's what you're doing with all these different feeds. Yeah.
Yes.
So you'll monitor this, Matt?
And it updates automatically.
This is neat. I want to do this.
And down below it shows you all the bad things that are happening in the world.
Epidemics, earthquakes, tornadoes,
floods,
fire, famine.
Long-term events, all the earthquakes that have happened, weather-related incidents, and of course all the volcanoes that are happening around
There's
the world.
a lot of volcanoes that are going on. Right?
There are.
This is out of Hungary. What's the website?
It's actually a very bizarre one, visz.rsoe.hu.
But the best thing is we're going to put this in the show notes so you don't have to remember
and
that.
it will come up in Hungarian first, and if you can read that, great, but they also have an English tab, so you can click on that.
That's really neat. And I imagine there are other sources like this. How do you find this stuff? Do you just go out and look around for it?
We go and look.
Yeah.
We're constantly searching for new information out there and be able to bring it in quickly and efficiently is our main job.
It's really neat. What I'm really amazed is that the military, which traditionally has had its own internal sources of information, is now using kind of public sources of information to supplement that. And it turns out this public stuff, there's a lot out there thanks to the internet.
Exactly. And we work very closely with all the reporters around the world. So if they want information from us, we of course work with them to make sure their
two-way street. That's neat. Yeah. And really now you've got information gathering all over the world.
Yes.
That's so cool. If you want to know more, we'll have the OPML file for your RSS feeds and a link to that Hungarian site on our website, labwithleo.com. Duncan Ayres, Manager of Internet Communications and Media Monitoring at Marpac JTF-DND. And we thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Leo.
And telling us a little bit about how the military is using the Internet to do exactly what you and I would want to do.